Let's move on political adeptness and talk about Michael Wood. Should he go as a minister, Simon Wilson?
I'm not sure that he should. What he's demonstrated is an appalling lack of judgment, as Nicola Willis said, an appalling lack of judgment about how you apply the rules to your own situation. But his misdemeanour is not a major corruption issue.
No.
And nobody's suggesting that it is. He's been a fool. And I'm not sure that that necessarily goes to his competence.
But Nicola Willis is saying that
it's beyond.
Okay, but Nicola Willis is saying it's a trust issue, Heather Royal.
Yeah.
So do you? I mean, I don't think you agree with Simon there, do you?
No, I don't, and I think he should go. And I think for the sake of the Labor Party, he has to go. I think that the social licence of governing is based on the premise of trust. I think Nicola Willis is absolutely right about that. The people have to trust their government. When you breach that, you've got a significant issue. And if Labor do allow him, if Chris Hipkins allows him back into Cabinet, I think the Labor Party then, the government then, takes on the burden of the lack of trust by the electorate. And I think that's a significant problem for them.
Okay. Well, I mean,
That's a political rather than an ethical thing. It's not.
Yes, look, this isn't about shares and money any longer.
Okay.
It's about the fact that he didn't declare when he should have done. Either he was lazy or he was arrogant. He's not lazy, we've seen that. He's very able, he's a lawyer. If anybody should have known the rules, he should have. And that's the problem now, not actually the money or the shares.
Do you, Ella, do you care whether Michael Wood comes back as a minister or not?
Well, I mean, we've seen that he was very much touted as one of the rising stars. And I feel like this week we've watched the destruction of someone's political career. Even if he stays, you know, he may have to work a lot harder to stay in Parliament. I do think some tough decisions are going to have to be made because Labor really wants to present itself as a party of the people that can be trusted and that has the best people at the helm. And I think that's going to be a decision they have to look hard at.
Yeah, it's going to come probably in a couple of months just before the election, so the timing's not great for Labor, is it? This is political capital for National, right, Simon? They should be going, well, they are going hell for leather on this one, but they should be representing in the polls as well, because this is not the first time the Labor minister has sort of misspoken. So what's going on there?
Yes, you asked Nicola Willis about that, and her answer isn't convincing. The National should be doing better, but I'm not sure it's because I'm not sure National's relative weakness, considering everything that's going on, is because of Labor. National has a real issue with ACT on the right. National is at real risk now of losing a lot of votes to the ACT party. And we're seeing that starting to happen. We're particularly seeing it in provincial and rural New Zealand and among older property-owning...
Got to bring in Heather here, is that right?
Oh, no, I think there's a lot of truth to what Simon says, and we were discussing this in the green room. So, but what an opposition needs to do is show that it is a government in waiting. And so it's not just it's not National or ACT, it's actually how do they work together.
Well,
and they need to be having some really robust conversations
what I was going to say, though, is that the conventional wisdom is usually you fight the election in the middle, but National has this other issue where they've got to fight it on the right before they can get to fighting it in the middle.
And
that's pretty complicated
on the
for
middle.
them.
OK, and in the middle, Ella, are a bunch of women, 50% of the population. How do you think Christopher Luxon is resonating with women?
Well, certainly in my own community, there's a difficulty, and particularly in the Māori community, the belly flopping around the use of te reo, on signage, you know, and the reality is, whether we like it or not, the Māori vote is going to make a difference at the next election. The big challenge for the parties that have significant Māori supporters is getting our young to the polling booths, raising the participation of Māori. But certainly the Māori women I speak to are not being attracted necessarily to some of the messaging coming out of Luxton's camp.
Right, OK. Does Nicola Willis have a problem with that? She's trying to get, you know, important messages through on finance and things like that, and that she's having to clarify. Heather?
Well, it's always a problem when you want to be talking about one thing but people keep asking you questions on another. I think there was a whole lot of red herrings this week. And, you know, the question about Chris Luxon's comments and jokes, you know, can you not make a joke any longer? Even the person interviewing him has come out saying it was done in a very light-hearted way, but it's been seized upon. And actually, New Zealand could do with more people. I've done my bit for the population.
OK, all right. Well, OK, well, I'm going to have to finish it there. Thank you so much for your time, Heather Roy, Ella Henry and Simon Wilson.